This is Coffee with God, and I am Father Jose. Let us begin this day with the Word of God and a short reflection.
A reading from the Holy Gospel according to Matthew, chapter 6, verses 1 to 6 and 16 to 18. The passage is taken from the Message version of the Bible. Be especially careful when you are trying to be good, so that you don't make a performance out of it. It might be good theater, but the God who made you won't be applauding. When you do something for someone else, don't call attention to yourself. You've seen them in action, I'm sure, play actors I call them, treating prayer meeting and street corner alike as a stage, acting compassionate as long as someone is watching, playing to the crowds. They get applause, true, but that's all they get. When you help someone out, don't think about how it looks, just do it, quietly and unobtrusively. That is the way your God, who conceived you in love, working behind the scenes, helps you out. And when you come before God, don't turn that into a theatrical production either. All these people making a regular show out of their prayers, hoping for 15 minutes of fame. Do you think God sits in a box seat? Here's what I want you to do. Find a quiet, secluded place so you won't be tempted to role play before God. Just be there as simply and honestly as you can manage. The focus will shift from you to God, and you will begin to sense His grace. When you practice some appetite-denying discipline to better concentrate on God, don't make a production out of it. It might turn you into a small-time celebrity, but it won't make you a saint. If you go into training inwardly, act normal outwardly. Shampoo and comb your hair, brush your teeth, wash your face. God doesn't require attention-getting devices. He won't overlook what you are doing. He'll reward you well. The Gospel of the Lord.
Reflections on the Gospel according to St. Matthew, chapter 6, verses 1 to 6 and 16 to 18. Today, on Ash Wednesday, we enter the gracious season of Lent. The Word of God calls us to be intimately united with the Lord. This intimacy with the Lord should manifest an abundance of charity. And so we hear, pray in private, give alms in secret, and fast with brightly anointed head. The Church encourages us to live these three spiritual attitudes in the Lenten season in exclusive union with God. In his Lenten Message for this year, Pope Francis makes two proposals to bring in a transformation in our lives. The first proposal is to listen to the voice of Jesus. The Pope understands that attending daily Mass may not be a possibility for many of us. So, he urges the faithful to study the Word of God, even with the help of our modern gadgets, and listen to the voice of the needy brethren. The second proposal of the Pope is not to take refuge in a religiosity made up of extraordinary events and dramatic experiences, out of fear of facing reality and its daily struggles, its hardships and contradictions. Listen to the voice of Jesus telling us, "Rise and do not be afraid." Therefore, this Lent calls on us to face struggles and pains with courage. We are called to go up with Christ to Jerusalem. Jerusalem is a place of rejection, sufferings, and death, but it is also the place where Jesus will rise in glory. We are invited to walk with the Lord, even if it would mean to experience sufferings and death. But we are promised of a joyous resurrection, individually and as a community. Therefore, these days of penance are intended to help us to return to our origins, to God, and to our better selves, and consequently also return to our neighbor. Oftentimes we have tried to be our own gods, to decide for ourselves what is right and wrong, and we have ended up by making ourselves the center of the world at the expense of ourselves, God, and of neighbor. Now is the right time to return to God and to turn to the people around us. We express our brokenness and our readiness to change when, after the gospel, we receive the ashes today. In this Lenten season, let us commit ourselves to transform our Lenten observance into full, active, and conscious participation in the passion of the Lord through our attentive listening to the Word of God and through our works of charity, prayer, and fasting with courage.